They called it the cursed bus. Every mechanic in town refused to touch it. But when Maya Cole said yes, she had no idea what was hiding behind that dashboard. Brock Hargrove stood in her shop with cameras rolling, mocking her credentials, calling her a backyard grease monkey who should stick to minivans. He gave her 24 hours to fail. But Maya found something that night, a wire that shouldn't exist, a device designed to lie, and a secret that explained why children were coughing at every bus stop in town. What happened next brought a millionaire to his knees and turned a dismissed mechanic into the most respected name in the county. If this story already got under your skin, subscribe and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. The fluorescent lights buzzed above Cole's auto repair. Maya stood at the counter with a stack of invoices and a cup of cold coffee. The numbers didn't add up. They never did anymore. "Miss Cole," Luis called from Bay 2. "I got that misfire code again." She set down the papers and walked toward him. The young tech held a scan tool in both hands. His fingers trembled. "Show me," she said. "Cylinder 3, Luis said. "It keeps dropping out under load. I swapped the coil pack, but it came back." Maya leaned over the engine bay of the rusted Camry. She touched the wire connector and felt the loose fit. Her eyes tracked the harness to a cracked boot near the manifold. "Pull that plug," she said. "Look at the ceramic." Luis worked the socket free and held it up. The electrode was worn to a nub. Oil fouled the threads. "I thought coils caused misfires," he said. "They do," Maya said. "So do plugs. So do injectors. So does compression." She pointed at the oil stain. "This engine is burning. The plug tells you that." Luis nodded and wrote it down. He always wrote everything down. A school bus rumbled past the open bay door. Black smoke coughed from its tailpipe. The smell hit Maya's nose and made her wince. The bus carried the Wilson Elementary logo on its side. "That thing shouldn't be on the road," Luis said. Maya watched it disappear around the corner. She wiped her hands on a rag. "Hargrove's fleet," she said. "The developer?" "The same." Maya walked back to the counter. "He owns half the buses in the district now. Bought the contract last spring." The phone rang. She picked it up and listened. Her face stayed flat, but her grip tightened. "Tomorrow morning," she said. "I'll look at it." She hung up and stared at the wall. A calendar showed the rent due in 9 days. A photo of Ava smiled from beside the register. College brochures sat in a neat pile underneath. "Problem?" Luis asked. "That was the depot," Maya said. "One of Hargrove's buses keeps failing emissions. They want me to take a look." "I thought Hargrove didn't let anyone outside his crew touch his equipment." "He doesn't." Maya picked up the invoices again. The driver asked personally. "She's desperate." Luis frowned. "Sounds like trouble." Maya looked at the bills, then at the photo of her daughter. She thought about the rent. She thought about the bus full of children breathing that smoke. "Trouble pays the same as everything else," she said. The fluorescent lights hummed. Outside, another engine coughed somewhere in the distance. The yellow bus rolled into Bay 1 just after 9. Its brakes squealed against the concrete floor. Maya stepped back as the door hissed open. A woman in a blue uniform climbed down. Her name tag read Doris. Her eyes looked tired. "Thank you for seeing me," Doris said. "I know this isn't normal." "You're here," Maya said. "That's what matters." A silver SUV pulled into the lot behind the bus. The door swung open, and Brock Hargrove stepped out. He wore a pressed polo and a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Well, well," Hargrove said. He walked toward the bay with his hands in his pockets. "I heard we had a little field trip happening." 2 men in matching work shirts followed him. They stood behind him with their arms crossed. Mr. Hargrove, Doris said. I know what you were doing, Hargrove said. He turned to face Maya. His smile widened. And who's this? The famous Maya Cole? Maya didn't move. Can I help you? I don't think so. Hargrove laughed and looked at his men. They laughed, too. See, Miss Cole, we don't do outside work on fleet vehicles. Company policy. The driver asked for a diagnostic, Maya said. I agreed. Doris isn't authorized to make those calls. Hargrove's voice stayed smooth. She drives, that's all. Doris looked at the floor, her hands twisted together. The bus is failing emissions, Maya said. 3rd time this month. The route is at risk. And you think you can fix what my certified techs can't? Hargrove stepped closer. His cologne hit her nose. You don't do fleets, Miss Cole. You do minivans and oil changes. The two foremen chuckled. Louise stood frozen near the tool cart. Maya felt heat rise in her chest. She kept her voice level. I can run a scan, she said. That's all I'm asking. Hargrove looked at the bus, then back at her. Something flickered in his eyes. Amusement, maybe something darker. Fine, he said. Run your scan, put on a little show for Doris. He checked his watch. You've got 24 hours. Then the bus goes back to my shop where it belongs. He turned and walked to his SUV. His men followed. The engine purred to life, and they were gone. Doris stood trembling by the bus door. I'm sorry, she said. I didn't mean to. Don't apologize, Maya said. Not for wanting help. She grabbed her scan tool from the bench. Louise set out safety cones around the bus. 24 hours, Louise said quietly. Maya plugged in the connector and waited for the screen to light up. Then we better start now, she said. The scan tool connected with a soft beep. Maya watched the screen populate with numbers. Louise stood beside her, with a notepad ready. Idle looks clean, she said. No stored codes, no pending faults. Doris leaned against the bay wall. That's what the other shop said, too. Then I take it to the inspection station and it fails. Let's see what happens under load, Maya said. She handed Louise the keys. Start it up. Give it some throttle when I signal. Louise climbed into the driver's seat. The engine turned over with a rough cough. Maya raised her hand and dropped it. The RPMs climbed. The exhaust note deepened. Maya watched the live data scroll across the screen. NOx is spiking, she said. Way over spec. Then the line flattened. The numbers dropped into perfect compliance. Too perfect. That's not right, Louise called from the seat. Maya stared at the graph. The spike, the drop, the plateau. It looked manufactured. It looked impossible. The bay door rattled. Hargrove walked back in with his phone raised. He was recording. How's the show going? He asked. Find anything exciting? Maya pointed at the screen. Your NOx readings are inconsistent. They spike under load, then flatten to factory spec. Hargrove squinted at the display. Looks fine to me. It's not fine. Physics doesn't work this way. He laughed and lowered his phone. Physics. Did you learn that at your little community college? He looked at his foreman, who had appeared behind him. She's chasing graphs now. Rookie move? The foreman smirked. Doris shrank back against the wall. Something is controlling the output, Maya said. Something that shouldn't be there. Or something is wrong with your equipment. Hargrove pocketed his phone. This bus passed 3 inspections before the new tester came online. Maybe the problem is the test, not the bus. Maya's jaw tightened. Give me time to road test it. I need to see the data under real conditions. You've got what I gave you, Hargrove said. 24 hours. Not a minute more. He walked out. His men followed. Doris touched Maya's arm. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have dragged you into this. You didn't drag me anywhere, Maya said. I'm here because something's wrong. Luis climbed down from the seat. What do you want to do? Maya looked at the screen. The numbers sat there, neat and wrong. Schedule a road test, she said. Dawn tomorrow, empty streets. I want to trap those numbers in the open. She printed the graph and pinned it to the board. The lines mocked her from the paper. The sun was barely up when Denise Park walked through the bay door. She carried a clipboard and a badge that read, City Vehicle Inspector. Her face showed nothing. Miss Cole, she said. I got your message. Thanks for coming, Maya said. I know it's early. Denise looked at the bus. This is the third fail this quarter. One more and the route shuts down. You understand what that means? I do. Then you understand why I need facts, not hunches. Denise tapped her pen against the clipboard. If something looks criminal, chain of custody matters. Documentation matters. Everything matters. Maya nodded. That's why I called you. Outside, cars began to line the street. Parents stood in clusters near the depot across the road. A woman held a toddler on her hip. An old man leaned on a cane. Luis looked out the window. Word travels fast. Small town, Denise said. Everyone knows that bus. Everyone's kids ride it. The woman with the toddler approached the bay door. Her eyes were red. Miss Cole, she asked, is it true? They might cancel the route? Maya stepped toward her. We're working on it, I promise. My daughter rides that bus every morning. We don't have a car. If the route goes, it won't, Maya said. Not if I can help it. The woman wiped her eyes. The old man with the cane nodded slowly. Denise watched the crowd grow. You've got an audience now, that's pressure. I know, Maya said. Pressure makes people sloppy. Don't be sloppy. Maya looked at the bus. It sat heavy on the lift. Yellow paint faded at the edges. She thought about Doris and the smoke. She thought about children breathing it every day. I'll call you by evening, Maya said. Whatever I find, you'll see it first. Denise wrote something on her clipboard. I'll hold you to that. She walked out past the crowd. The parents watched her go, then turned their eyes back to Maya. Luis pulled on his gloves. What's the plan? Maya grabbed the pressure tester from the shelf. We start with the intake, then sensors, then wiring. And if we don't find anything? Maya looked at the bus. The numbers from yesterday still glowed in her memory. Too perfect. Too wrong. We'll find something, she said. We have to. The lift hummed as it raised the bus toward the light. The pressure gauge held steady at 15 psi. Maya watched the needle and counted seconds. No drop. No leak. Intake's clean, Luis said. Swap the MAF sensor anyway, Maya said. I want factory baseline. Luis worked the bolts loose while Maya pulled live data on the scan tool. The numbers scrolled past. Clean at idle, dirty under load, then clean again. Still doing it, she said. The pattern holds. The bay door opened. 3 men walked in. 2 wore Hargrove's company shirts. The third was Hargrove himself, phone already raised. Still playing detective? He asked. I thought you'd be done by now. Maya didn't look up. I've got time left. Not much. Hargrove circled the lift. He peered at the undercarriage. Find anything besides your own confusion? Readings are wrong, Maya said. They don't match real engine behavior. They match fine at my shop. Hargrove stopped beside Luis. What's that? You pulling sensors now? On my equipment? Luis froze with a wrench in his hand. I authorized the swap, Maya said. It's logged. Logged. Hargrove laughed. You hear that, boys? She's logging things. Very professional. One foreman smirked. Maybe she went to mechanic school online. YouTube University. the other said. They both laughed. Maya felt anger tighten in her chest. She forced her hands to stay steady. I need a road test, she said. Real conditions, not just idle checks. You think you know better than my ASE-certified techs? Hargrove stepped closer. You think your little scan tool sees things theirs can't? I think something is hiding the real numbers, and I think a road test will prove it. The room went quiet. Hargrove studied her face. His smile faded. Fine, he said. Tomorrow morning? Dawn? I'll send a supervisor. I don't need a supervisor. You're getting one anyway. He turned toward the door. And Miss Cole? If you waste my time again, I'll make sure the whole town knows who to blame when those kids lose their bus. He walked out. His men followed. Luis let out a breath. That guy really hates you. He doesn't hate me, Maya said. He's afraid of what I might find. She looked at the graph on her screen. The impossible numbers. The perfect lies. Schedule the road test, she said. 4 a.m., I want empty streets and honest data. Luis wrote it down. Outside, the morning sun climbed higher, and the crowd at the depot began to thin. The streets were empty at 4:15. Maya drove the bus through the industrial corridor with Luis in the passenger seat. A portable analyzer hung from the mirror, its numbers glowing green. Baseline clean, Luis said, holding steady. Maya pressed the accelerator. The engine groaned. The speed climbed. Watch the knocks, she said. The number jumped. 40, 60, 90. Then it dropped. There, Luis said. It just cut in half. Maya held the speed. The analyzer showed perfect numbers now. Too perfect. Same pattern, she said. Dirty under acceleration. Clean when RPM holds steady. She pulled into an empty lot and let the engine idle. The numbers stayed low. It's learning, Luis said, or something's telling it when to cheat. Maya killed the engine. She sat in the dark and listened to the metal tick. Behind the dash, she said, I heard something yesterday, a rattle that didn't belong. You think there's hardware in there? I think there's something hiding, and I think it talks to the sensors. Luis looked at the instrument panel. Hargrove's guys would have seen it during maintenance. Only if they were looking. Maya opened her door. Come on, we've got an hour before sunrise. Let's pull some panels. They worked in the lot with flashlights and screwdrivers. Maya traced the wiring harness from the engine bay through the firewall. Luis photographed each connection. Here, Maya said. She pointed her light at a section of tape near the HVAC blend door. This tape is newer than the rest, different texture. She peeled back the edge. Underneath, a thin wire spliced into the harness. It ran behind the sound foam and disappeared toward the floor. That's not factory, Luis said. No, Maya said, it's not. Her gut knotted. She thought about Hargrove and his smile. She thought about the perfect numbers and the children breathing smoke. We need to get back to the shop, she said. I need Denise to see this. They drove in silence as the sun cracked the horizon. The wire stayed hidden behind the foam, waiting to be found. The bay doors opened at 7. Maya had coffee waiting and photos printed. Luis mounted them on the board beside the graphs. This is what we found, Maya said. She pointed at the splice. Aftermarket wire, not in any factory diagram. Denise studied the image. Where does it lead? Behind the dash, into the floor cavity. We stopped before we cut anything. Smart. Denise made a note. Chain of custody is intact? Everything's logged, time-stamped. Luis has the originals on his phone. The bay door rattled. Hargrove walked in with his foreman and his phone. Early start today, he said. Find your smoking gun yet? Maya pointed at the board. We found unauthorized wiring, spliced into the harness. Hargrove glanced at the photo. His face didn't change. That's a dealer modification. Common on fleet vehicles. Nothing strange. It's not in any service record, Maya said, and it runs to a location that doesn't need additional wiring. Maybe you missed it, Hargrove smiled. Or maybe you don't know what you're looking at. The foreman stepped forward. She's cutting up company property now. That's destruction. I didn't cut anything, Maya said. I pulled tape, that's all. Same thing. The foreman looked at Hargrove. We should take the bus back. Hargrove nodded slowly. He looked at Maya with cold amusement. You know what I think, he said. I think you're in over your head. I think you wanted to prove something, and now you're grasping at wires. Heat rose in Maya's face. She felt the old shame creeping up her neck. Maybe you should stick to minivans, Hargrove said. Leave the real work to people who know what they're doing. Luis stepped forward. His fists were clenched. She knows more than... he started. Luis. Maya's voice was quiet. He stopped. She looked at Denise. I want a supervised inspection. Official witness. Before any further disassembly. Denise looked at Hargrove. That's her right. Hargrove's smile tightened. Fine. Play your games. But when this goes nowhere, I'll make sure everyone knows who wasted their time. He turned and walked out. The foreman followed, glancing back with a sneer. Luis let out a breath. Why didn't you let me say something? Because he wanted you to, Maya said. Angry people make mistakes. We don't. She pinned another photo to the board. The wire sat there in the image, thin and wrong. Tomorrow, Denise said. Official inspection. I'll bring a witness. Maya nodded. The door stayed closed, but she could feel Hargrove's presence outside. The morning light filled the bay. The bus sat on the lift, yellow and silent. Maya stood beside it with her arms crossed. Doris arrived first. She looked tired. Her uniform was wrinkled. They told me not to come, Doris said. Hargrove's office called last night. You came anyway, Maya said. Those are my kids on that bus, every morning, every afternoon. Doris touched the fender. I need to know the truth. Customers began to drift in for their appointments. Luis moved between them, checking tickets and pointing toward the waiting area. Maya watched him work. The bay door opened again. Hargrove walked in with two men in suits. One carried a briefcase, the other carried a camera. Official inspection, right? Hargrove said. I brought my own witnesses. Maya didn't move. Denise sets the rules, not you. Denise works for the city. The city works for taxpayers. Hargrove spread his hands. And I'm the biggest taxpayer in this district. The man with the camera began recording. Hargrove positioned himself near the bus. Let me be clear, he said. I've supported this community for 15 years. I've donated buses, funded scholarships, built playgrounds. He turned toward Maya. And now some backyard mechanic wants to slander my name over a piece of tape. A customer near the counter looked up. Luis stopped moving. I'm not slandering anyone, Maya said. I'm documenting readings that don't match physics. Physics? Hargrove laughed for the camera. She learned physics at the same place she learned to cut up other people's property. The anger came fast. Maya felt it burn behind her eyes. She thought about the bills on her counter. The rent due in 5 days. The college brochures for Ava. She could walk away. Let the bus go back. Protect her shop. Denise walked through the door. She stopped when she saw the camera. What's this? She asked. Transparency, Hargrove said. Something Miss Cole claims to value. Denise looked at Maya. Your call. We can postpone. Maya looked at the bus. She thought about the children. The smoke. The impossible numbers. "No," she said. "I'm not releasing this bus until the readings are documented, under supervision, with proper witnesses." Hargrove's smile hardened. "Then you're done in this town. I'll pull every contract, every referral, every lease." "Do what you need to do," Maya said. Luis stepped beside her. His face was pale, but he stood tall. "I'm staying," he said, "whatever happens." Maya handed him a fresh notepad. "Then we're in it now." She pulled out her phone and dialed Denise's office number. "I need a supervised inspection tomorrow," she said. "Full documentation, city seal." Hargrove watched her. His eyes were cold. "You just ended your career," he said. Maya held his gaze. "We'll see." She hung up the phone. The call was made. The door behind them had closed. By noon, the story had spread across town. Maya heard it from 3 customers before lunch. The grandstanding mechanic who thought she knew better than certified professionals. "People are talking," Luis said. He sat down, his sandwich, and looked toward the street. "Not all of it good." "Let them talk," Maya said. "Talk doesn't change data." The front door opened. A woman in a green coat walked in with 2 children behind her. She approached the counter with nervous eyes. "Miss Cole?" she asked. "I'm Sarah. My kids ride that bus." "I know," Maya said. "I've seen you at the depot." "Is it true? The bus is dangerous?" Maya looked at the children. A boy around 8, a girl maybe 6. They stared at her with wide eyes. "I don't know yet," Maya said. "That's what we're trying to find out." Sarah gripped the counter. "They say you're making trouble, that you want to shut down the route." "I want the opposite," Maya said. "I want the route to stay open, but I want it safe." The little girl tugged her mother's coat. "Mommy, is the bus going to hurt us?" Sarah's face crumpled. She pulled the girl close. "No, baby, no." Maya felt the pressure in her chest. She thought about Ava at that age, the trust in those small eyes. "I'm going to fix this," Maya said. "I promise." Sarah nodded and wiped her eyes. She led the children back outside. Luis watched them go. "That's the 3rd family today." "I know." The back door opened. The landlord stepped in with an envelope in his hand. His name was Gerald. He owned the building and 6 others on the block. "Maya," he said. "Got a minute?" She walked toward him. He handed her the envelope. "Lease renewal," he said. "Due in 2 weeks. I wanted to give you a heads up." Maya opened it. The number was 30% higher than last year. "This is a mistake," she said. "Market rates," Gerald said. He didn't meet her eyes. "Nothing personal." "Nothing personal." Maya's voice stayed flat. "Someone called you." Gerald shifted his weight. "I can't discuss other business relationships." "You don't have to." Maya folded the paper. "I understand." He walked out without another word. Luis appeared at her shoulder. "What was that?" he asked. "Pressure," Maya said, "from someone with money." She looked at the bus through the bay window. Yellow paint. Dirty secrets. "Come on," she said. "We've got work to do." They spent the afternoon cleaning grounds and testing relays. Luis filmed every screen with timestamps. Maya logged every reading. Tomorrow would bring the supervised test. Tomorrow would expose either a fool or a fraud. She wasn't planning to be the fool. Denise arrived at 8 with a clipboard and a city seal. A man in a gray suit followed her. His badge read County Witness. "This is Mr. Franklin," Denise said. "He'll observe and document independently." Maya shook his hand. "Thank you for coming." "Let's see what you've got," Franklin said. They loaded into the bus. Maya drove. Luis sat behind her with the portable analyzer. Denise rode shotgun. Franklin took the rear bench with a tablet and stylus. The route was the same as before. Industrial corridor, empty streets, steady acceleration. "Baseline holding," Luis called. "Clean numbers at idle." Maya pressed the pedal. The engine groaned. The speed climbed past 30. "Knox rising," Luis said. 50, 70, 90. She held the throttle. The numbers spiked. Then they dropped. "There," Luis said. "It just clicked into clean mode." Denise watched the screen. Her face stayed neutral. "Show me again," she said. Maya repeated the sequence. Acceleration, spike, drop. The pattern held perfectly. "It triggers when RPM stabilizes," Maya said. "Hold steady, and the numbers flatten. Like magic." "Not magic," Denise said. "Hardware." They returned to the shop. Franklin typed notes on his tablet. Denise examined the analyzer printout. "I need wiring photos," Denise said. "Before any panel cuts. Full documentation." "Already done," Maya said. She handed over a folder. Every connection, every splice. Denise flipped through the images. She stopped at the photo of the hidden wire. "This goes behind the dash," she asked. "Into the floor cavity. We stopped there." "Smart." Denise closed the folder. "Tomorrow we pull the panel under official seal." The bay door rattled. Hargrove's foreman walked in with a clipboard of his own. "How's the science fair going?" he asked. "Find anything besides your own incompetence?" Franklin looked up. "Who are you?" "Company representative," the foreman said. "I'm here to observe." "You can observe from outside," Denise said. "This is a city inspection." The foreman's smile faded. "Hargrove won't like that." "Hargrove can file a complaint." Denise pointed at the door. "Now step back. You're contaminating my scene." He glared at Maya. His jaw tightened. Then he turned and walked out. Luis let out a breath. That felt good. Maya didn't smile. The tension in the room hadn't eased. It had only changed shape. Tomorrow they would open the dash. Tomorrow they would find whatever was hiding there. She just hoped it would be enough. The bay was quiet at dawn. Maya stood beside the bus with a trim tool in her hand. Denise watched from 3 feet away. Franklin recorded with his tablet. "Proceeding with panel removal," Maya said. "Time is 6:14 a.m. She popped the first clip. The plastic trim shifted. Luis held a flashlight steady. "Second clip," Maya said. "Third, fourth." The panel came free. She set it aside and reached for the sound foam. "Careful," Denise said. "Document before you touch." Luis photographed the cavity. The wire was visible now. It ran from the harness splice into a small black box wedged behind the HVAC duct. "There," Maya said. She pointed without touching. "That's not factory." Denise leaned in. "Describe what you see." "Piggyback module, aftermarket, approximately the size of a deck of cards." Maya traced the wires with her finger in the air. 3 inputs, 1 output, connected to the engine harness. Luis zoomed in with his phone. "There's a slot on the side. Micro SD." Maya looked closer. The slot had fresh scratches around the edge. Someone had accessed it recently. The bay door opened. Hargrove walked in with his foreman. His face was tight. "What are you doing to my property?" he asked. "City inspection," Denise said. "You were notified." "That device is factory optional," the foreman said. "Emissions calibration module, standard on fleet vehicles." "It's not in any service record," Maya said. "And it's not in the factory parts catalog." Hargrove stepped closer, his eyes fixed on the module. "You planted it," he said. "This is a setup." "I documented every step," Maya said. "With city witnesses. Under seal." Franklin held up his tablet. "I have continuous video from 6:12 a.m. No tampering observed." Hargrove's jaw worked. He looked at Denise. I want that device returned to me, he said. It's my property. It's evidence now, Denise said. She pulled a plastic bag from her kit. I'm sealing it for laboratory analysis. Maya pointed at the micro SD slot. The scratches are fresh. Someone's been updating the software. That doesn't prove anything, the foreman said. It proves access, Maya said. Recent access. Denise photographed the slot. She noted the wire colors. Then she carefully removed the module and dropped it in the bag. Sealed at 6:29 a.m., she said. Witnessed by County Representative Franklin. She signed the label. Franklin countersigned. Hargrove watched with cold fury. This isn't over. No, Maya said. It's just beginning. Denise promised a retest within 48 hours, with and without the device. The truth would show itself one way or another. Hargrove left without another word. His foreman followed. The module sat in the sealed bag on Maya's workbench. Small, black, full of secrets. The crash woke Maya at 2 a.m. She sat up in bed and listened. Another sound. Metal on metal. Then silence. She grabbed her phone and called Luis. Someone's at the shop, she said. Meet me there. She drove through empty streets with her heart pounding. The bay lights were off. The side door hung open. Luis arrived 2 minutes later. They approached together with flashlights. Stay behind me, Maya said. The office was destroyed. Filing cabinets lay on their sides. Papers covered the floor. The printer sat in pieces near the window. They were looking for something, Luis said. Maya walked to her desk. The top drawer hung open. Her laptop was gone. Her backup drive was gone. But the sealed bag sat untouched on the workbench. The module was still there. They didn't take it, Luis said. Why not? Too obvious, Maya said. If the evidence disappears, everyone knows who took it. She swept glass from the counter. Her hands were steady, but anger burned in her chest. The files, she said. The photos. The logs. Gone, Luis said. All of it. Maya stared at the scattered papers. Years of work, destroyed in minutes. Luis reached into his pocket. He pulled out a small plastic case. Not everything, he said. Maya looked at him. What is that? The micro SD from the module. Luis opened the case. A tiny card sat inside. I mirrored it during lunch yesterday, before the seal. Maya's eyes widened. You made a copy? You taught me to document everything. Luis handed her the case. Everything. She held the card in her palm. It weighed almost nothing. It might be worth everything. Back it up again, she said. 3 copies, different locations. Tonight. Luis nodded. He started gathering what he could from the floor. Maya stood in the wreckage of her office. Someone wanted her to stop. Someone wanted her afraid. She wasn't afraid. She was angry. The module still held its secrets. But now, so did she. The laptop hummed on Luis's kitchen table. Maya sat beside him with a cup of cold coffee. The mirrored data filled the screen. CAN bus messages, Luis said. Thousands of them. Time-stamped. Can you graph them? Maya asked. Already running. He pointed at a window filling with lines. Throttle position on one axis, module output on the other. The pattern emerged slowly. A jagged line climbing and falling. Then a strange flat section. Then chaos again. There, Maya said. That flat part. When does it happen? Luis checked the timestamps. His face went pale. March 15th, he said. April 10th, May 3rd. What's special about those dates? Luis pulled up his phone. He searched the city website. His hands trembled. Scheduled inspection days, he said. All of them. Maya stared at the screen. The flat sections aligned perfectly with the inspection calendar. Clean mode activated only when it mattered. It knows, she said. The module knows when to cheat. How? Luis asked. GPS, Maya said. Or maybe OBD connection to the inspection station. It recognizes the test conditions and switches modes. She stood and walked to the window. The sun was rising over the rooftops. Children would be boarding buses soon. It's designed to pass stationary tests, she said. Dyno rollers, idle checks. But on real roads it runs dirty. Kids breathing that every day, Luis said. Every day. Maya's voice was flat. While Hargrove collects contracts and smiles for cameras, she turned back to the laptop. Print the timing maps, all of them. I want Denise to see this. Luis worked the keyboard. The printer whirred to life. What happens next? He asked. Council demonstration, Maya said. Public forum. Denise can schedule it under transparency rules. Hargrove will fight it. Let him fight. Maya gathered the printouts. The truth doesn't care who's fighting. Her phone buzzed. A news alert. She opened it and felt her stomach drop. A press release. Hargrove Fleet Services. The headline called her a disgruntled mechanic seeking media attention. It questioned her credentials, her motives, her sanity. Luis looked over her shoulder. He's going public. Good, Maya said. So, are we? She called Denise and requested the demonstration. The inspector agreed. The council chamber. 1 week. The clock was running now. The truth would either save her or bury her. The radio played in Bay 2 while Maya worked. A talk show host with a smug voice filled the air. This so-called mechanic thinks she knows better than certified professionals, he said. Classic case of someone looking for attention. Hargrove's been serving this community for years. Luis reached for the dial. Maya stopped him. Leave it, she said. I want to hear what we're up against. Why give them the satisfaction? Because knowing your enemy is never a waste of time. The door opened. Ava walked in with her backpack over one shoulder. Her face was tight. Mom, she said, have you seen the dumpster? Maya set down her wrench. What about it? Come look. They walked outside together. The dumpster sat against the back wall. Red spray paint covered one side. The words were ugly, racist, meant to wound. Luis swore under his breath. Maya stood silent. I'll clean it, Ava said. I brought supplies. No. Maya touched her daughter's arm. Leave it. Mom, let them see what they are. Maya's voice was steady. Let everyone see. Ava's eyes filled. This isn't fair. It never was. Maya hugged her daughter. But we don't quit. Not now. A car pulled into the lot. Pastor Elijah Brooks stepped out with a paper bag in his hand. His gray hair caught the morning light. Brought coffee, he said. Figured you could use some. Pastor, Maya said. You didn't have to. Yes, I did. He looked at the graffiti. His jaw tightened. They want you scared. Don't give them that. They walked inside. The pastor set the bag on the counter and pulled out cups. The council meeting, he said. What do you need? A crowd, Maya said. People who want the truth. You'll have it. He handed her a cup. The congregation is behind you. So are the parents. And if it goes wrong, then we rebuild. Brooks met her eyes. That's what communities do. The radio host laughed at something. Maya reached over and turned it off. There's an eviction notice on my bay door, she said. Gerald dropped it yesterday. Gerald Ross? Brooks frowned. He's been getting pressure. I heard it at the barber shop. Hargrove? Who else? The pastor sipped his coffee. Money talks loud in this town. Maya looked at the bus through the window. Yellow paint. Black secrets. A fight she never asked for. 1 week, she said. That's all I need. Then you'll have it, Brooks said. Whatever it takes. Ava began scrubbing the dumpster despite her mother's words. Louise joined her with a second brush. The paint came off slow, but it came off. The morning of the demonstration arrived gray and cold. Maya reached the shop at 5. The bus sat waiting in Bay 1. She climbed into the driver's seat and turned the key. Nothing happened. No, she said. She tried, again. The starter clicked. The engine stayed dead. Luis arrived at 5:30. He found her under the hood with a flashlight. What's wrong? He asked. Won't start. New fault code. Came out of nowhere. Luis pulled the scan tool. The screen showed a crank position sensor error. Sensor's fine, Maya said. I checked it yesterday. She traced the harness from the sensor to the computer. Her finger stopped at a connection near the frame rail. Here, she said. The ground wire. It's loose. Luis looked closer. That's a torqued connection. It shouldn't come loose on its own. It didn't. Maya tightened the bolt with a quarter turn. Someone helped it. She climbed back into the seat. The engine fired on the first try. Luis wrote the repair in the log. Time, date, description. He photographed the connection. Think it was Hargrove's people? He asked. Doesn't matter who. Maya checked the gauges. It matters that we document it. Denise arrived at 7. She reviewed the log entry and accepted it with a nod. Sabotage? She asked. Maybe, Maya said. Maybe just bad luck. Bad luck doesn't loosen torqued bolts. Denise signed the page. I'll note it in my report. The convoy assembled at 8. Maya drove the bus. Denise followed in her city truck. Luis rode with Pastor Brooks in the church van. Parents lined the street as they passed. Some waved. Some held signs. One woman held up a photo of her children. Maya gripped the wheel and kept her eyes forward. The council chamber was 3 miles away. 3 miles between her and the truth. The bus ran smooth. The engine hummed. The numbers on the analyzer stayed steady. Ready? Denise asked over the radio. Maya looked at the road ahead. The chamber waited at the end. So did Hargrove. So did the town. Ready, she said. The convoy rolled toward City Hall. The clock showed 8:15. In 45 minutes, everything would change. The council chamber was packed. Parents filled the front rows. Shop owners sat in the back. Reporters lined the walls with cameras ready. Maya rolled the bus onto portable rollers at the center of the room. The analyzer screen faced the audience. Denise stood beside her with the sealed evidence bag. We'll proceed under official observation, Denise said. Miss Cole will demonstrate the anomaly. Then we'll review the data. Hargrove sat in the front row with his lawyer. His smile was fixed. His eyes were cold. Maya started the engine. The crowd murmured. Baseline readings, she said. Normal idle, normal parameters. She increased the throttle. The RPMs climbed. The NOx numbers rose. Watch the screen, she said. As the engine stabilizes, the readings should stay elevated. The numbers climbed, 60, 80, 90, then they dropped. The line went flat. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Maya pointed at the display. That's the cheat, she said. The module detects steady RPM and switches to clean mode. It only happens during... The projector flickered. The screen went black. Technical difficulties, someone called from the back. Hargrove stood. This is exactly what I warned about. Unreliable equipment, unreliable claims. The crowd shifted. Parents looked at each other. The energy in the room began to turn. The data is corrupted, Hargrove said. Anyone can see that. This woman has been wasting the city's time from day one. That's not true, Luis called out. The data is solid. We have backups. Backups from the same faulty equipment? Hargrove laughed. Please. A woman stood in the third row. Her face was red with frustration. "My kids need that bus," she said. "They need it running tomorrow, not stuck in some mechanic's bay." "That's right," a man beside her said. "We don't have time for games." The room buzzed with angry voices. Maya felt the floor shifting under her feet. Denise raised her hand. "We'll reconvene tomorrow. Same time, full technical review." "Another delay," Hargrove said. "Another day of this circus." The session ended. People filed out with muttered complaints. Hargrove walked past Maya with a smirk. "Nice try," he said. "Better luck next time." Maya stood alone beside the bus. The analyzer screen stayed dark. The evidence bag sat unopened on the table. Luis approached with careful steps. "What do we do now?" Maya's hands trembled as she packed the equipment. She thought about the graffiti, the break-in, the loose bolt. "We come back tomorrow," she said, "and we finish what we started." But the doubt was there now, small and cold, growing in the silence of the empty room. The shop was dark when Maya returned. She unlocked the bay door and stepped inside. The overnight camera sat on its tripod near the workbench. She pulled the footage on her phone. The timestamp showed 2:14 a.m. A figure in a mask approached the bay door. He tested the handle. It held. The figure looked at the camera. Then he walked away. "They're watching," Maya said to herself. Her phone rang. The lease agent, Gerald's assistant. "Miss Cole," the woman said, "Mr. Ross would like to revisit your terms." "Revisit how?" "The renewal date has been moved up. You have 72 hours to sign or vacate." Maya closed her eyes. "That's not what the contract says." "The contract has a clause for violations. Mr. Ross believes there have been several." "What violations?" "I'm not authorized to discuss specifics." The line went dead. Maya sat on her stool and stared at the bus. The yellow paint looked gray in the dim light. The analyzer sat dark on the bench. Luis arrived an hour later. He found her in the same spot. "You okay?" he asked. "No," she said. "I'm not." He set down his bag. "What happened?" "Lease is being pulled. 72 hours. Luis swore softly. "They can't do that." "They can do whatever they want." Maya rubbed her face. "Money makes its own rules." She looked at the bus, the sealed evidence bag, the printouts on the board. "Maybe I should stop," she said. "Protect the shop. Protect you." "Stop?" Luis stepped closer. "After everything?" "The town doesn't want the truth. They want their bus route. They want normal." Luis walked to the bench. He picked up the mirrored data and set it in front of her. "This is bigger than a bus route," he said. "This is fraud. Children are breathing poison." Maya looked at the printouts, the timing maps, the perfect alignment with inspection days. "I know," she said. "Then we finish it." Luis pulled out a notepad. "We build something they can't ignore." Maya stood slowly. She walked to the parts shelf and pulled a coil of clear tubing. "Transparent bypass harness," she said. "We show them the signal flow in real time." "They can watch the current move," Luis said. "See exactly when it cheats." "No projector failures, no technical excuses." Maya measured the tubing. Just the truth, visible to everyone. She worked through the night. Luis printed labels for every branch. The harness took shape on the bench. The lease notice sat on the counter. 72 hours. But the truth didn't care about deadlines. The soldering iron glowed orange in Maya's hand. She touched it to a joint and watched the solder flow. Clean, precise, undeniable. "Branch 7 complete," she said. "Label it." Luis pressed a white tag onto the clear tubing. The number stood out sharp against the plastic. Ava arrived at noon with a stack of poster boards under her arm. She spread them on the counter. "Diagrams," she said. "Simple ones. So parents can follow along." Maya looked at the drawings. Each one showed a different stage of the cheat. Arrows pointed to key connections. Colors matched the tubing labels. "These are good," Maya said. "I used your notes." Ava taped one to the wall. "Mom, are you sure about this?" "No," Maya said, "but I'm doing it anyway." Pastor Brooks stopped by at 2 with sandwiches and news. "Hargrove's people are outside," he said. 3 trucks. They've been there since morning." Maya looked through the window. The trucks sat across the street. Men in company shirts leaned against the hoods. "Let them watch," she said. "We're not hiding anything." "They're broadcasting confidence," Brooks said, "trying to rattle you." "It's working," Louise said quietly. Maya turned back to the harness. "It only works if we let it." Denise arrived at 4 to review the demonstration plan. She examined the harness with careful eyes. "Walk me through it," she said. Maya traced the tubing from the engine harness to the analyzer. "Signal flows here. When the module activates, current diverts through this branch." "Visible to the audience?" "Completely. They'll see the light change when clean mode kicks in." Denise made notes. "Extra witnesses tomorrow. 2 from the county, 1 from the state." "State?" Louise asked. "This might be bigger than our jurisdiction." Denise closed her notebook. "If the cheat software matches federal patterns, the EPA will want to see it." Maya felt her chest tighten. Federal. EPA. Words she never expected to hear in her bay. "Tomorrow at 9, Denise said. "Full chamber. No mistakes." She walked out past the watching trucks. The men straightened but didn't approach. Maya looked at the harness. Every connection labeled. Every branch clear. "It's ready," she said. "Are you?" Louise asked. She thought about the lease notice, the graffiti, the masked figure on camera. "I have to be," she said. Midnight came cold and quiet. Maya sat alone on a stool in Bay 1. The harness lay finished on the bench. The bus waited in silence. She thought about her father, his bent wrenches hanging on the wall, the way he taught her to listen to engines. "Trust what you know," he used to say, "not what they tell you." She looked at the bus, yellow and heavy, full of secrets she had dragged into the light. "Grandstanding mechanic." The words echoed in the empty bay. She heard them on the radio, read them online, saw them in the eyes of people she thought were friends. The fear came then, small and cold. It wrapped around her chest and squeezed. What if she was wrong? What if the data meant nothing? What if Hargrove walked away clean and she lost everything? She thought about Ava. College in the fall, tuition bills stacked on the kitchen table, dreams that depended on a mother who could pay the rent. She thought about the children, the smoke at the bus stop, the coughs that parents blamed on allergies. She wiped her eyes. The shop smelled of oil and solder and fear. "I can't quit," she said to the empty room. "I won't." She walked to the bus and climbed inside. The seats were worn. The floor was scuffed. Thousands of children had ridden here. She sat in the driver's seat and gripped the wheel. The leather was cracked under her fingers. Tomorrow she would show them the truth. Tomorrow she would face Hargrove and his lawyers and his money. Tomorrow might destroy her. But tonight, she would check every connection one more time. She would test every label. She would prepare until there was nothing left to prepare. The fear stayed with her as she worked. But so did the anger, and the anger was stronger. The bus waited with her in the silence, heavy and patient, ready for its secrets to be told. Dawn broke gray through the bay windows. Maya stood at the bench with the harness connected. The analyzer hummed beside her. "Final test," she said. Luis powered up the bus. The engine settled into idle. "Baseline clean," he called. "Normal parameters." Maya watched the clear tubing. Current flowed through the main branch. The indicator light stayed green. "Increase throttle," she said. "Hold at 2,000 RPM. The engine note rose. The analyzer numbers climbed. Knox spiked toward the limit. Then the light shifted. Current diverted through the secondary branch. The numbers dropped. "There," Maya said. "The piggyback just activated." She traced the flow with her finger. The cheat was visible now. Undeniable. A current moving where it shouldn't move. "Injector timing shift," she said. "It cuts fuel delivery during stationary RPM windows." "That's why the emissions drop," Luis said. "Less fuel, less output." "But on real roads under load, the timing stays normal." Maya's voice was flat. "Dirty exhaust, every mile, every day." She printed the timing maps, 5 copies. Each one showed the alignment with inspection days. Pastor Brooks arrived at 7. She asked him to witness the final seal. "Another copy of the micro SD," she said, "in case something happens to the first." Brooks signed the label with careful handwriting. His face was solemn. "This is going to change things," he said. "I know," Maya said. She looked at the evidence spread across her bench. Graphs, photos, timing maps, a clear harness that showed the truth in light and current. The case was complete. The proof was solid. Nothing left to add. She locked the bay and loaded the equipment into her truck. The bus would follow on a flatbed. Denise had arranged the transport. "Ready?" Luis asked. Maya looked at the shop. The faded sign, the cracked pavement, the bay where her father had taught her everything he knew. "Ready," she said. The convoy formed at 8. City Hall waited 3 miles away. So did the truth. The council chamber was standing room only. Parents packed the front rows. Reporters lined the walls. Camera lights swept across the crowd. Maya rolled the bus onto portable rollers at the center of the room. The transparent harness caught the light. Every branch was visible. Every label was clear. Hargrove sat in the front row with his lawyer and 2 assistants. His smile was thin. His eyes tracked Maya's every move. Denise stood at the podium with a microphone. "This session is convened under public transparency rules," she said. "Miss Cole will demonstrate her findings. Then we will review the evidence." She stepped aside. The room went quiet. Maya walked to the bus. Her hands were steady. Her voice was calm. "Yesterday the projector failed," she said. "Today you won't need a projector." She pointed at the harness. "This is a transparent bypass. It shows signal flow in real time, no software, no screens, just physics." She climbed into the driver's seat. Luis stood at the analyzer. "I'm going to start the engine," Maya said. "Watch the green light on branch 1. She turned the key. The engine fired. The light glowed steady. "Normal operation," she said. "Clean signal path, no intervention." She pressed the accelerator. The RPMs climbed. The analyzer numbers rose. "Knox is climbing," Luis called. 60, 80, approaching limit." Maya held the throttle. The room held its breath. "Now watch," she said. "As RPM stabilizes, the module will activate." The numbers peaked. Then they dropped. The green light on branch 1 flickered and died. A red light on branch 2 came alive. Gasps filled the chamber. Parents stood for a better view. "That's the cheat," Maya said. "Current diverted. Timing altered. Emissions hidden." Hargrove's lawyer stood. "This proves nothing. She could have rigged the display." "Then let's prove it another way," Maya said. She reached under the dash and unplugged the module. The red light died. The green light returned. Louise checked the analyzer. NOx just spiked back up. We're seeing true emissions now. The numbers climbed past the limit, past safe, into dangerous territory. The room erupted. Parents shouted questions. Reporters pushed forward. Hargrove's smile had vanished. Maya stepped out of the bus. She stood in the center of the chaos. The truth was visible now, and it couldn't be unseen. Denise raised her hands for silence. The room settled slowly. Parents returned to their seats. Reporters lowered their cameras. "Miss Cole," Denise said, "please explain what we just witnessed." Maya walked to the analyzer screen. "This device measures nitrogen oxide emissions. The federal limit is 200 parts per million." She pointed at the readout. With the module connected, the bus showed 140. Clean, compliant. She pressed a button. The display changed. With the module disconnected, the bus shows 320, almost double the limit. A woman in the third row covered her mouth. Her children sat beside her. "Every day," Maya said, "every root, every child breathing this air." Hargrove stood. "This is theater. She manipulated the equipment." "I have video," Luis said. He held up his phone. "Continuous recording from setup to now, every connection documented." "The seal was witnessed," Pastor Brooks added, "by me and by County Representative Franklin." Franklin stood in the back. "I can confirm. Chain of custody is intact." Maya pulled a folder from her bag. "I also have mirrored data from the module's micro SD card." She spread the printouts on a table. "These are CAN bus logs. They show clean mode activating only on specific dates." She pointed at the highlighted sections. March 15th, April 10th, May 3rd. "Those are inspection days," Denise said. "Exactly." Maya looked at Hargrove. "The software was designed to cheat, on purpose, on schedule." The lawyer stepped forward. "Where did you get that data?" "From the module you installed," Maya said. "We installed nothing. That device was planted." Maya pulled another sheet from the folder. "Then explain this." She held up a printout of an email header. The sender address belonged to Hargrove Fleet Services. The recipient was a name she didn't recognize. The subject line read, "Module installation, Bus 47, confirm appointment." "This was stored on the micro SD," Maya said, "along with calibration files and update logs." Hargrove's face went white. His lawyer grabbed his arm. "Don't say anything," the lawyer said. Denise stepped to the evidence table. She examined the email, with careful eyes. "I'm sealing this chamber," she said. "No one leaves until federal liaison arrives." The room buzzed with confusion. Parents clutched their children. Reporters typed furiously. Maya stood beside the bus. The transparent harness still glowed. The truth still visible. Hargrove stared at her with hatred in his eyes. But he didn't speak. The silence said everything. The federal liaison arrived 20 minutes later. She wore a dark suit and carried a briefcase. Her badge read, EPA Criminal Investigation Division. "I'm Agent Torres," she said. "I've been briefed on the situation." Denise handed her the sealed evidence bag. "Module recovered from the vehicle. Chain of custody documented." Torres examined the seal. "Who witnessed the extraction?" "County Representative Franklin," Denise said. "And myself." Torres nodded. She looked at the email printout on the table. "This header," she said. "It's from the company's internal system?" "Stored on the module's micro SD," Maya said, "along with software update logs." Torres photographed the documents. She made notes in a small tablet. Hargrove stood. "This is a setup. That woman planted evidence to destroy my reputation." "Mr. Hargrove," Torres said, "I'd recommend you speak with your attorney before making statements." I am speaking with my attorney. Hargrove's voice rose. And he'll tell you this whole circus is… Brock. The lawyer gripped his arm. Stop. Torres looked at Denise. I'll need the bus transported to a federal facility. Full forensic analysis. Understood, Denise said. The room stayed silent. Parents watched with wide eyes. Children pressed close to their mothers. Pastor Brooks rose slowly from his seat. He looked around the chamber. Then he began to clap. The sound was soft at first. Lonely. Then Sarah joined him. Then another parent. Then another. The applause spread across the room. It built until the walls seemed to shake. Maya stood beside the bus. Her eyes burned, her throat tightened. Luis appeared at her side. He put a hand on her shoulder. You did it, he said. Torres sealed the evidence bag with a federal stamp. 2 officers entered to secure the bus. Hargrove watched his empire crumble. His lawyer whispered urgently. His assistants had already fled. Maya looked at the parents, at the children, at the bus that had carried poison through their streets. The truth had cost her everything, her lease, her reputation, her peace. But looking at those faces, she knew it was worth it. Every single moment. 6 weeks passed. Summer turned toward fall. The investigation spread beyond the town. Federal auditors found cheat devices in 17 other Hargrove buses. The EPA opened cases in 3 states. Hargrove's contracts evaporated. His assets were frozen. The smug smile disappeared from the papers, replaced by mugshot angles and courtroom sketches. Maya sat on the shop floor when the letter arrived. It came from the federal whistleblower program. The numbers inside made her sit down hard. Mom? Ava called from the counter. What is it? Maya couldn't speak. She handed the letter over. Ava read it twice. Her eyes went wide. She stopped. Mom, that's a lot of zeros. I know, Maya said. She laughed. The sound surprised her. Then the tears came, and she laughed through those too. Luis found them there 10 minutes later. By then, the word had spread. Pastor Brooks arrived with the church elders. Denise showed up with a bottle of champagne. The celebration spilled into the bay. Parents brought food. Children ran between the lifts. Gerald appeared at the door with a sheepish expression. Maya walked over to meet him. Miss Cole, he said, about the lease. Save it, Maya said. I'm buying the building. His mouth fell open. She walked away before he could respond. The weeks that followed moved fast. 2 new lifts went into Bay 3. A training program launched with scholarships for young mechanics. Ava's name went on the plaque by the door. The town's buses returned to honest compliance. New routes opened. Parents waved when they passed the shop. Maya stood at the counter one morning, watching the traffic roll by. A yellow bus stopped at the light. Clean exhaust, quiet engine. Luis appeared beside her with a work order. Mrs. Patterson's Camry, he said. Misfire again? Maya smiled. Show me the data. They walked to Bay 2 together. The fluorescent lights hummed overhead. Tools hung in neat rows on the walls. Outside, the bus pulled away. Children waved from the windows. Respect had settled over the shop. Quiet and earned. And Maya Cole went back to work.